Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. Kaliyugada Kalpataru, the fifth delight. Shri Raghavendra Guru Sarvabhouma. Chapter 19. Penance and Boon at Tirupati. Venkatanabhadevi was 6 years old and Guru Raja was 4 years old. The children were growing well. After Guru Raja was born, the Acharya couple did not have any more children. The Acharya decided that this was the right time to have another son who would bring glory to the lineage, become renowned and rule. One son does not bring as much joy as two sons. If there are two sons, the happiness is greater. Thus, as the two rituals, darshan and purnamasya, yields results only when performed together. Similarly, Guru Raja would not find happiness without a brother. With the proper support of a sibling, the two brothers would unite and prosper like Darsha and Purnamasya, bringing fulfillment and joy to the family. With this thought, Timannacharya prayed to their family deity, Lord Srinivasa, for another son, and with his family made a pilgrimage to Tirupati for worship. The Acharya couple visit to Tirupati for divine service was recognized by the monastery authorities and their close associate, Pandit Jagannath Acharya, who warmly welcomed them, arranged accommodations and meals for them, and support Timannacharya and his wife to devote themselves wholeheartedly to serving the Lord. Timannacharya and Gopikamba Devi bathed in the holy waters of Akashaganga and Swami Pushkarni, completed the rituals at the temple of Sri Varahadeva, had darshan of Lord Srinivasa, and began their service with devotion. Desiring a virtuous son who would be a blessing to the family, a benefactor of the world, and universal leader and distinguished devotee, the Acharya couple knew that the vessel to bear such a son must be pure. Understanding the importance of mental, verbal, and physical purity, the scholarly Timannacharya explained to his wife the need for observing strict vows, discipline, and fasting to purify the body. He taught her to remain spiritually pure through devotion, worship, and other righteous practices. They began serving the Supreme Lord Venkateshwara with unwavering devotion and dedication, observing Krishna Vrata, Chandrayana Vrata, Ekabhukta fasting, sacred scripture recitations, circumambulations, prostrations, and prayer both day and night. From early morning between 3 to 4 a.m., the Acharya used to recite the Sarvabhouma scriptures of the great sages. With utmost devotion, Sri Timannacharya and Gopikamba Devi meditated on Lord Venkatesha and sang melodiously the songs, verses, and suladis composed by enlightened saints like Shri, Sripadarajaru, Vyasaraja Tirtharu, Vijendra Tirtharu, Vadiraja Tirtharu, Purandaradasaru, and Kanakadasaru, which described the divine play and glory of Lord Hari. They circumambulated the temple and performed steps of prostration while engaging in the worship of Lord Srinivasa. Despite their austerities, fasting, and physical penances, the couple radiated an extraordinary brilliance and divine glow on their face. Witnessing their devotion and discipline, everyone around them held them in high regard. One day, scholars and devout individuals on the hill approached the Acharya and said, "Acharya, we are immensely delighted by your impeccable service, devotion to Lord Hari, and your profound knowledge. The scriptures affirm Bhakta Bhagavatam Shastram. Devotees and sacred scriptures are inseparable. For a long time, we have aspired to listen to the Bhagavata Purana from a scholar like you. You, being a great scholar, please be kind and translate the Srimad Bhagavata Purana for us. By doing so, Lord Bhagavan will be greatly pleased and will swiftly fulfill your desires. Listening to the scriptures will also bless us greatly." The Acharya replied, "I perceive this as the Lord's command conveyed through you. I am delighted and will translate the Srimad Bhagavata to the best of my ability." From the next day, he began translating the Bhagavata Purana. From then on, the Acharya couple intensified their devotion, just as Kashyapa and Aditi performed austerities like the Kshiravata, that is milk vow, to obtain Lord Vishnu as their son. The Acharya and his wife also undertook the Kshiravratha with the desire to obtain a divine son born of a part of the Lord himself. It is said that their extraordinary devotion and service prepared the ground for the birth of a son who would be a divine incarnation and a beacon of devotion. Lord Srinivasa accepted their diverse services, purified their souls, and laid the foundation for the incarnation of his great devotee. The Acharya couple performed their services with the intensity of penance, shining like the ancient rishi couples in their dedication. In the mornings from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., the Acharya conducted the Bhagavata translation in the presence of Lord Srinivasa in the temple. Hundreds of scholars, devotees, men and women listened to the recitation with great devotion. The Acharya's discourses were both inspiring and deeply intellectual. He explained intricate concepts, the secrets of scriptures, the divine play of Lord Hari, his unparalleled glories, and his compassion for devotees in simple and beautiful language that all could understand. The listeners, overwhelmed with devotion, were often moved to tears of joy and spiritual bliss. Upon learning of Timmannacharya's exceptional expertise in playing the veena from the pontiffs of Vyasarajaru and Vijayendra Mathas, the temple authorities approached him with a special request. Understanding that Timmannacharya desired to serve Lord Hari through the ancestral art of veena playing, they invited him to offer his musical service. Filled with joy, he began offering his profound veena playing skills as a form of service to the Lord Srinivasa during the early mornings and at the time of the night repose, that is Shayanotsava. His melodious veena rendition brought immense delight to Lord Srinivasa and profound bliss to the devotees, who extolled Timmannacharya for his unparalleled talent. That day, during the recitation of the 7th canto of the Bhagavata Purana, the story of Lord Narasimha responding to the call of Prahalada unfolded. To uphold the truth of his devotees' words, Lord Hari is present everywhere. He alone is supreme and all-powerful. The Lord appeared in the form of Narahari, that is man-lion, emerged from a pillar and slaying the tyrant Hiranyakashipu. To calm the Lord's wrath, Lord Brahma brought Prahalada forward. Overcome with devotion, Prahalada extolled the Lord with heartfelt prayers, soothing his anger. Timmannacharya, deeply moved by the story, translated this part with utmost devotion. Hundreds of devotees, enraptured by the sacred translation, listened with tears of joy, their bodies shivering with emotion. The Acharya himself experienced an indescribable and extraordinary bliss while translating this session. The translation continued until noon, culminating with the coronation of Prahalada, marking the completion of the 7th canto. The Acharya concluded the session with a Mangala, that is auspicious invocation, and everyone wholeheartedly praised his scholarship, brilliance, and style of translation. The congregation received the sacred offerings of Mangala Prasada and Mantrakshata with reverence. That day, the Acharya couple had darshan of the Lord, concluded their Kshiravratha, and partook of the Lord's Prasada, feeling deeply fulfilled. During the night repose, that is Shayanotsava, the Acharya, overwhelmed with devotion, played the veena with his gaze fixed steadfastly on the feet of the Lord while singing. At that moment, the flower garland adoring the Lord slipped off his idol from the right side and fell. The Acharya and his wife, taking this as a divine blessing, were filled with immense joy. They sang Mangala songs, accepted the prasada, and retired to their resting place, meditating on Lord Hari before taking rest. That night, as the hour of Brahmamurta, that is early dawn, approached, Timmannacharya and his wife had a sweet dream. In the dream, they stood in front of the sanctum sanctorum of Lord Srinivasa, devotedly praying for a virtuous son who would glorify their lineage. At that moment, a divine radiance, akin to the rising of million suns, illuminated the scene. In that resplendent light, Lord Srinivasa appeared, adored with the Kaustubhajam, a garland of forest flowers, a crown, earrings, bangles, and necklaces, holding the Shanka, that is conch, and Chakra, that is discus, draped in yellow silk and radiating incomparable beauty. The Lord stood with a gentle smile on his lotus-like face, granting them his divine presence and reassurance. Overwhelmed by the sight of the Lord's divine and auspicious form, Timmannacharya, with tears of joy and a choked voice, began praising Lord Srinivasa, O Lord of Lords, Jagannatha, the one seated on the lotus, revered by Brahma, Shiva, and all the celestial beings, O cause of the universe origin, filled with infinite auspicious qualities, free from defects, the bestower of liberation, the one comprehended through the Vedas, the supreme Lord, unmatched by any, O compassionate protector, have you graced us by accepting the servant's humble service and appearing to bless us, O Master, fulfill our cherished desire and protect us. Saying this, they prostrated before him. Lord Srinivasa granted them a boon and spoke, Acharya and your wife, I am pleased with your penance. You have sought a son who would be world renowned and a jewel to your lineage. Timmanna, today you faithfully translated the story of my foremost devotee Prahlada with devotion and reverence, offering Prahlada to me. Hence, I am delighted to bless you with Prahlada himself. Acharya, the son born to you will be an incarnation of the great and mighty soul who is most dear to me, who is perpetually imbued with the divine presence of Sri Vayudeva, and who is destined for the welfare of the world. Your son will uplift the world, establish righteousness, and be glorified across the three realms. He will spread the principles of Bhagavata Dharma, illuminating not only your lineage, but also the fame of the Hamsa lineage initiated by me. He will become revered throughout the world. Acharya, after completing the Bhagavata translations and offering the Mangala, returned to their hometown with your virtuous wife and live a life of devotion and righteousness. May all auspiciousness be yours. Having said this, the Lord disappeared. In the enchantment of the divine dream, the Acharya couple remained overwhelmed with tears of joy. Walking up suddenly, they recalled the dream, shared their profound experience and the Lord's blessings with each other, and rejoiced in great happiness. They immediately rose from their bed, bathed in holy Swami Pushkarani, and offered their prayers to the Lord. As per the Lord's instructions, they completed the Bhagavata translation, offered the Mangala, served Lord Srinivasa, accepted the Prasada, and joyfully returned to Kaveri Patana. In their ancestral home in the Agrahara, they remained devoted to worship and meditation, eagerly waiting the auspicious day when their virtuous son would be born. Hari Om. Om Sri Krishnarpanamastu.